Hey there, travel creators. Welcome back to the podcast. If you are new here, I'm Laura, and today I'm coming to you live from something that's been absolutely wild for me. My apartment. Yes, I know, a physical address. The irony of me, a travel content strategist, having a home base is not lost on me. Yes, I know how crazy this is, and I apologize if you can hear the trucks and cars going by in the background. We're just city living here, and I have yet to get my little studio set up. But I just spent the weekend painting the walls of this apartment, and it gave me one of the most perfect metaphors for content creation I've ever experienced. So grab your coffee, go for a walk, maybe clean your own apartment or pack for that trip, and let's talk about why you need to just get it done and then make it good later. So when I first got to my apartment, the walls were very dirty. I spent 3 hours with a bucket and a rag cleaning the walls. I felt like a 1950s housewife. It was horrendous and so real. And I cleaned them and they were still looking dirty. Like the people who lived here before had lived here for 10 years. So these walls have seen 10 years of love, for lack of a better word. And it was clear we needed to do something. So instead of me going down a million rabbit holes of like how to best paint a wall, because to be honest, I'm really bad at painting and I didn't even know you could be bad at painting. And instead of me researching what brushes to use and what lighting to get so we could see and what step stool would be best, I just went to Home Depot, grabbed some paint, and I just started. And the first coat, done. And honestly, we were racing to get it done because we had movers coming and we wanted the space to be clean and set up and just like ready to go. And it was like late at night. Like, Marie, you want to cue like some nighttime music? Like deep nighttime music? Okay, thank you. Now that I've got that rolling. It was like midnight, okay? And here we are painting this room and I was like, I just want to get it done. So I just started slapping the paint on the walls, like rolling like you've never seen somebody roll a wall before. Speed rolling, quite literally. And I was just saying, I just like said out loud, I was like, let's just get it done and we'll make it good later. And then I was like, oh, wait a second. That's like exactly what I'm kind of all about. I was like, let's just get it done and make it good later. And I didn't let myself be a perfectionist about this at all because it's always fixable. And I was like, oh my God, this is exactly what we need to do with content creation. So how many times have you had a great content idea and you never posted it because you wanted to make it perfect first? I see you, my people pleasers. I see you. We love you. And you're going to need to let it go today, okay? You always want the perfect lighting in the photos. You want the perfect caption. You want the perfect time to post, the perfect everything, the hook, the whatever. But meanwhile, that idea is just sitting in your drafts, getting staler by the day, while you're stress scrolling Instagram looking for inspiration that never comes. By the way, if you missed last week's episode on why I think inspiration is a shit strategy for travel creators, gonna need you to go back and listen to that one. But what I learned from painting is that the first coat or the first pass we take at anything doesn't have to be perfect. It just has to exist. Because you can't improve something that doesn't even exist yet. And I think that's what holds us back a lot. Like when we're starting something new, we're like, I think what holds us back a lot is that we think 20 steps ahead of like, oh, I want to start this membership or I want to start this community, but how will I get people to constantly say, what kind of affiliate program can I set up, blah, blah. It's like, whoa. Let's just perhaps get the idea of it down first and get it out there before we worry about making an affiliate network. And it's that getting 20 steps ahead that gets us stuck. So I want you to believe that good enough is actually strategic, okay? And this is also something that's hit me lately. I think a lot of people are always like, oh my gosh, there's so much competition out there, which can be true. But I think everything changes when you start looking at everybody else who has a ton of followers in your niche or a different niche as inspiration and not as competition. Because if somebody can go and post their skincare routine on the internet and that's it, barely edited, whatever, and build up to make this massive like 6-figure business, then it doesn't, like, it's not that deep. Like, content creation doesn't have to be that deep. And every time I'm scrolling online and I see like anybody who's posting sort of mundane things, and I don't mean that in like a negative way, I just mean like very everyday sort of content, that it's working for them and it's nothing over the top and it's nothing crazy and they don't overthink it. Because actually good enough can make you a lot of money. Just like I couldn't tell what my walls really needed until I got that first coat of paint on them, you can't tell what your content actually needs until you put it out there. And when you put it out there, you get real feedback instead of imaginary problems. So like I was saying, like when you finally just create something and put it out there, you're going to get legit feedback from people to make it better rather than like guessing what would make it better before even beginning. We create problems in our head that our audience actually doesn't care about. Also, in case you forgot, progress beats perfection every single time. So my painted walls are not magazine ready, but oh my God, they are better than like the butter yellow cream color they were before. And same with your content. A good post that exists beats a perfect post that never gets published. Also, when you just do things and then make them great later, you build momentum. And nothing is more exciting and inspiring than building momentum. Like when you have so much momentum, you feel like you can do literally anything. So getting that first coat of paint done made me excited to do the second coat because I saw the progress, and posting that good enough content makes you excited to create the next piece. And I know you've noticed this before, but sometimes that reel you spend an hour editing absolutely tanks, more so than the reel that you spend 10 seconds putting together. And I think also that just comes down to authenticity, but that's a whole nother topic we don't have to get into today. Essentially, I just don't want you to spend 3 hours crafting the perfect caption or creating the perfect post. I want you to just write a decent caption or lightly edit something and post it. You can always improve later. So I would like to challenge you to take the first coat approach to content creation. So you're going to just get it done. Create the content. Don't overthink it. Just get the first version out there. Then you're going to step back and assess. Look at what you actually created versus what you thought you were creating, what worked, what didn't, what do you like about it? And then we can look at the analytics of what did your audience like about it. And now that you have something out there, you can actually make like specific targeted improvements so you can base what you're changing on real data and not just like made up concerns. And here's what I actually discovered about my apartment walls and, to be honest, my content. So after I had that first coat of paint up and I was like terrified that it was going to look like absolute shit because I'm not a good painter, I realized when after we painted through the night, the next day when the natural light was hitting, I was like, oh, these walls are actually in better shape than I thought. Like it didn't go as bad as I thought it was going to go. So most of my worry was about problems that didn't even happen. And the imperfections that I was stressed about were barely noticeable and honestly took Matt 15 minutes to fix last night. So getting started on this huge project was definitely way harder than actually doing the work. And I think about this often, like thinking about doing the work, like thinking about how much work you have to do is so much harder than just doing the work you have to do. So same with your content. Your ideas are better than you think they are. Most of your worries are about problems your audience doesn't care about or won't notice. These imperfections you stress over are invisible to everybody else. And starting is simply the hardest part. So I want this to be your permission slip to post content that's good enough. C's get degrees. Okay, they do. They really do. I wouldn't know because I was a straight A student. Just kidding. I'm kind of kidding. But this is your permission slip to learn by doing instead of learning by planning. And just don't forget that consistent content is actually better than perfect content. So if you have any ideas in your drafts right now that you're like, it doesn't feel completely ready yet. All right, here's what you're going to do. You're going to post it. Yep. And then you're going to throw your phone away. And then you'll go back and look at it later because one, it doesn't fucking matter, but also you can do it. You got it. The bottom line here is that my walls aren't perfect, but they're painted, they're livable, and they're better than they were. And your content doesn't have to be perfect either. It just has to exist, serve your audience, and help you build the business you want. So we're going to paint and create first, and we're going to perfect later. Okay, besties, don't forget that done is better than perfect. So go ahead and just get something off your plate today that is done, that is good. And later we can make it great when we have actual data to help us understand what would make it better. So happy creating, happy posting. I miss you already. If you want to say hi on Instagram, I would absolutely love that. Tell me, you know what I need from you? I need you to go over to Instagram and DM me at Travel Content Writing and tell me some of your favorite podcast episodes, because now I live in such a walkable place that I'm like literally about to go walk to the grocery store. I have like just so many errands on foot. The next time you see me, I'm going to have the quads of an Olympian. But to do that, I'm going to need some podcasts in my ear, because we can only loop the Lumineers, Noah Kahn, and Sabrina Carpenter so many times. Okay? So I'm going to need some new podcast recs. All right. You can drop those on my Instagram at Travel Content Writing. I will see you later. Happy creating. Bye.